Welcome back to Strong Arm Flix. A long time, guys. And hopefully my software will work with me. What is that? Anthony? Oh. Hopefully my software will keep working because I got it kind of jimmy rigged because I haven't had it hooked up in so long. I almost forgot how to hook it up. But yeah, so I'm glad that you're on here, Jeffrey. It's been a long time, man.
Yeah.
And, we were just talking about Netflix and the deal that they had and with Zack Snyder, and you're catching me up on some things. Why don't you tell me a little more about it, man? Because I do want to know all the stuff that I missed out on, man.
Yeah, so about an hour ago, the news broke out that Zack signed a 2-year exclusive deal with Netflix to get for films, and what has been confirmed is, as of right now, what's going on is that Army of the Dead has been greenlit for a sequel, and he's working on that alongside with Rebel Moon, that's also coming out, and he's also trying to set up another universe with that movie already. So so Zach is a pretty busy dude right now.
Yeah, it sounds like he's gonna be pretty busy, man. And and I'm happy for him. It just sucks because, on one hand, I'm very happy for him, and I want him to pursue all of his dreams and everything. It just sucks because, if he gets I just worry that if he gets, and it's Warner Brothers doing, men can't sit around and not make a paycheck and not fulfill it, do his job and because he's got like a dream job. Like some people, they grow up and they do a job because they have to, and some people, job isn't a job. It's like they're fulfilling their dreams, and like he gets to live that out every day, and that and that's awesome for and he has such a awesome fan base, and myself included. I'm awesome. You're awesome. Like the people I've met along this journey, it's just amazing.
Yep.
Good people, man. Good vibes, good people, and I just hope that his hands don't get too tied to where, if Discovery ever comes around, or to restoring the Snyderverse, that he won't have too many projects on his hands at that point down the road, whenever that may happen or may occur.
Yeah, because I
his
do
slate is
know.
pretty full right now. His slate is pretty full.
Yeah, and really, right now, people say that the Snyderverse is over. Like, if you actually do read the article, there is like a little paragraph where it says that Zach and Deborah haven't given up on the Snyderverse. They haven't as of yet. So even though this deal is still going on, they still haven't given up on the hopefulness of the Snyderverse being restored. But so really, for now, we just have to focus on the Ayer Cut.
Right. And and honestly, the Ayer Cut is part of the Snyderverse.
Yep.
Early on, things got changed. The original slate, David came in to help Zach make the universe. He was the only one that like literally used his exact versions of the characters without tampering with them, without altering them. We got Ezra Miller's Flash in Suicide Squad. We've got Ben Affleck Batman in Suicide Squad, and they're unaltered to any degree. Zach, for the most part, was doing the heavy shit, and David was doing like mainly the villains, and Zach was handling like the Thanos level villains like Darkseid, Doomsday,
Yeah.
and him and David were working hand in hand to build this universe, and that there's no other movie in the DCU outside of David Ayer's work that is not Zach, that's direct, exact canon to Zach's work. And
Yep.
I feel like that should stand for something, that should speak for itself. The Ayer Cut's going to have more Ben Affleck Batman in it, more Bruce Wayne, and more Batman. And it's
Yep.
our Batfleck, and it's not altered. It's not like half canon, not canon, like the Aquaman movies, like Wonder Woman 84. We're talking direct DCEU world building that should have been done early on. This movie
Yep.
got tampered with first before they came in and just jacked up Justice League all the way around. When they came in to screw with Justice League, Suicide Squad was the first one. You know what I mean?
Yep.
The
And
first one was BVS, the theatrical cut.
yep.
And then the poor reception from critics because fans loved it. It made a lot of money.
Yeah.
But because of the critical reaction, they decided, the first thing they did, they jumped in on David Ayer's ass while he was making Suicide Squad and recut it, re-edited it. They Justice League Suicide Squad.
Yep. And that's really the thing too. Like, people really don't understand how this was how the Ayer Cut was supposed to connect to Zack Snyder's Justice League, because I still remember David Ayer tweeting out that the Ayer Cut was really the appetizer for Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Right. And and it was really in a lot of ways. It just I don't know. See, the thing I'm curious about is do you with the way that things played out with Steppenwolf, I think that Steppenwolf, if they gave him the same opportunity and let Zach come in to help David, you know what I mean? Or
Yep.
come in and work with him if David needs him to on certain things, with the Snyder Cut, like canon shit, like maybe rendering Steppenwolf the way that he's supposed to look, like shit like that. Let David. That's the whole point of point of it is to let David do his thing. But I'm sure that Zach would love to see the movie. I'm sure Zach even said he would love to see the Ayer Cut realized. And Steppenwolf showing up, that wouldn't mess with anything to do with the Justice League, because there's different ways that they could have came there. I don't see it making any canon issues if Steppenwolf showed up in this movie at the very end for like a brief minute. Like,
Yeah.
they tried to open like the old school portal, like the one that Darkseid's talking about.
Yeah.
Basically, it's like the style in the initial script. That's how Steppenwolf was supposed to come. It was supposed to be a giant world clock ticking down to like some kind of thing. And Zach was even going to go into that, in Justice League 2 if we ever get it. Because that's what Darkseid and his posse were talking about at the end of the movie when they successfully closed the boom tube.
Yep.
So that'd be dope to see. We got Dr. Fate in here. And let's see. He said, what do you guys think about the Batgirl cast? You go ahead and answer that, Jeffrey. I'm trying to see if I can get this link up.
Really right now I'm kind of like iffy on it. Like, I really kind of don't care about the Batgirl project right now. Like I've seen, like I know the girl from the Heights is going to be in it, which I'm happy for her, but honestly, with what's been given to us, really, I'm really not up in arms about it. I'm not upset about it or anything like that. It's just something that it's kind of like just okay, and it's in my mind sort of thing. So really, to me, it's kind of like okay. So yeah.
Right, and I kind of feel the same way. I don't really know how to feel about it yet. I'm still kind of on the fence. Yeah, I don't really know. We'll have to see. The Flash, Ezra Miller's Flash movie
Oh
that's
yeah,
finally getting made.
okay.
That's in production. I see leaks every day from the set. I seen pictures the other day of two different Barry Allens. One with like long hair and yellow shoelaces, and another one looking normal. And then I seen one of Sasha as Supergirl, which didn't look too impressive. Maybe it's because the special effects ain't on it or the angle. It didn't look
Yeah,
too great. The symbol looked okay, but then like the shoulders looked almost like they combined. It looked like they took Ezra, or no, it looked like they took Henry Cavill's Superman S, combined it with the Superman Returns logo, and then threw a skin from the Amazing Spider-Man over top of that.
yeah.
To me. So, but like I said, I'm not hating on it. It's just a little different. Maybe it'll look good. I'm not sure. Maybe it'll look good in action. I'm not.
Really, I think it's gonna be a good movie if WB doesn't get involved as much, because really, I'm a huge fan of Andy Muschietti's work, and really, I'm just worried that WB will meddle in this movie a lot.
Yeah. I worry about that too. Because I just think that Andy might be the type to be easily influenced the way David was, to like get pushed back out of the way. Well, it's not even that. It's like you can't do nothing about it. I just feel like they're going to make him compromise. Like, we want this kind of tone. We want these kind of bright colors. We want these quirks and jokes. And that's all there is to it. We want little to no connection to the OG DCEU. I don't know. I'm hoping that I feel like he's going to try and just do his own thing with it, which is fine. That's kind of the point. But
Yeah,
I just feel like, the aspect of Ben Affleck Batman being there, I think that he's already been gone from the script. I know that people are still holding out hope, and they're saying, no, 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 he's in it. I haven't seen, until I see a picture or some real proof. As far as I'm concerned, they removed Cyborg and Ben Affleck Batman specifically because they were OG DCEU.
yeah, because really, like going back to the when Andy Muschietti was posting images of the superheroes logos. First, you got Michael Keaton's Batman, then you got the Flash, and then you had the Supergirl logo. And you don't see, and really, a lot of people were expecting that we would get a Ben Affleck Batman logo right after, but we haven't gotten that.
Right. And yeah, we haven't got that neither. So I don't know. I mean, until they show me something different, like that, otherwise I just don't believe that it's happening. Um, but
So,
but
so
yeah,
speaking
but yeah, I hope that they connect it and they don't mess it up. I just hope they don't go against the canon, because what was done with the Flash and Zack Snyder's Justice League, like the power set and his character building, I just hope we don't see that reset to zero. I hope they don't recast the dad. Like I heard that they're trying to do. That would be retarded. They're keeping the same. They said, because they're keeping the same. What's her name? Barry's wife.
uh, Kirstie Clemens,
Yeah,
the same Iris West.
yeah, Iris West. People were saying because of Iris West that that's proof that it's canon. No, it's not. That's not, because that's the same thing as like them taking Aquaman, and Zach did Aquaman, then they make an Aquaman movie and they just do their own thing, and they don't communicate the same. They don't talk underwater the same. There's more jokes. The storyline doesn't talk or touch upon anything in the DCEU. Doesn't mean that it's not. It's just loosely adapted from it. It's not going against the continuity. It's just like it's its own thing. Like it doesn't. My point is though, just because they cast her, I'm happy they did, but that doesn't mean that that this project can't go left real freaking fast.
Right, because I don't know if you heard about this, but they actually recast Henry Allen, Barry's father, for the Flash film.
Yeah,
So
see, that's what I was just talking about. If they're recasting his dad, why would you recast the dad? You know,
yep,
that's already means to me, in my mind, in my book, like, you're just gonna do your own thing. You're gonna Wonder Woman, you're gonna Wonder Woman 84 it with the continuity, maybe not the tone. And I still have hopes that it'll be a good movie, but it's just like, to me, it just seems like the same shit they've been wanting to do. They want to keep trying to bring back Warner Brothers. They want to keep trying to nostalgia chase. They want to nostalgia chase the OG Batman from like way, way back, and Christopher Nolan and Reeves. And it's just, I don't know, man. It just seems like they can't come up with nothing new. And the shit they come up with new that everyone loves, they don't like it. So all they can do is just keep nostalgia chasing. And to me, I know a lot of people are happy to see, the old school Batman come back, but and I am too, to a degree, but not. The only reason why I can't be happy for it is because it's Warner Brothers. They always got an agenda why they're doing this shit. Like, what's going to be the agenda? Like, you're gonna like write over the timeline or something with the Flash running, and that's going to be one of the consequences. Now Ben Affleck Batman's gone, and this is our new Batman. Like.
yeah, because
Like,
I still remember actually reading one of the leaks on that popped up, and basically what happened was, it seems like for the Flash movie, this isn't going to be a Flash movie. It's really going to be a Supergirl movie, because apparently how this movie begins is that it's a Ben Affleck's Batman's fault for causing the Flashpoint, and the Flash is basically kind of like the Justice League Flash, where he's an idiot, and the Supergirl is the one who saves the day.
yeah. Yeah, it already doesn't make me too excited for it. I mean, The Flash deserves a movie. Cyborg deserves a solo movie. But we know that that's not going to happen now, the way Warner Brothers is.
Yeah, at least with the current regimen.
Snyderverse is over. All these solo movies that DC is producing, Henry Cavill too busy with other films. It's over, man.
Really, like I said at the beginning of the stream, Dr. Fate, like, Zach really hasn't given up on the Snyderverse yet. Because
yeah, I mean, we all gotta be logical here, and what he's saying, that does hold some weight. What Dr. Fate is saying, but at the same time, you can't just completely throw it out the back door, because Zach's still optimistic about it, for one. For two, Discovery has just came in and bought into the company. For three, they told us the Snyderverse was over before, and that the Snyder Cut would never happen, and it did. And then for four, Warner Brothers wasn't the one that made the Snyder Cut happen.
Yep.
And if the Snyderverse is continued, it won't be Warner Brothers that continues it. That's things that we already know. To me, the best thing to do at this point, during the wait period of waiting for chess pieces to fall in order, is to finish fleshing out the footage that's already shot, that's sitting on a shelf. Okay?
Yep.
Because that's the best bet. You don't need your actors like that. You don't really need anybody but a special effects team, a little bit of money, and bring David Ayer in to recut and finish his film. Zach's movie was monstrous. It's the Justice League, and it's got Darkseid. It's got, like, it had a Green Lantern in it. It had a it had a Martian Manhunter in it. Like, that movie was a monster. So it needed more money, a shit ton of more special effects, a shit ton of like pickup shots. And they let him add that scene with the Joker and Ben Affleck Batman, which was awesome, because that means that Zach was listening to us, and he was like, man, it's a shame that, I bet you Zach was on the phone with David. Like, man, this is a shame between me and you both, man, Warner Brothers and their shit. we never got around to letting them, have a conversation in the same room to get the audience to get a feel for their relationship, and
Yep.
he put that together, for us, and that was awesome, and it was beautiful, and it just sucks that they didn't have the time to make all these movies because the original slate would have been perfect.
Yep.
It
And
was
that
perfect
we
how it was, and we've lost so much now, and it's just they're still trying to it's just stupid. I don't know, man, the way that they're handling things, but that's So anyway, the massive Ayer Cut campaign is August 15th, and I'm going to be there.
August 5th. No, August 5th.
Is it the 5th?
Yeah,
Somebody
it's the 5th.
Okay, that's what somebody told me it was the 15th. Well, yeah, let me update that because I don't want people having wrong information. August 5th.
Yeah.
So I'm going to fix that.
Which you really, I don't know if you've been paying attention to the Suicide Squad movie that James Gunn is doing, but
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to sound like an asshole, but I'm not watching it. I'm not watching it until it comes out on DVD or just comes out for digital, like way down the road. Like I'm not supporting.
I'm not talking about the actual movie itself. I'm talking about about the new date that was changed because
what happened?
So apparently, the original release date for the James Gunn's Suicide Squad was August 6th, but then they moved it down to August 5th, and their excuse for it was that they wanted is that basically it was because it's James Gunn's birthday. And really my thing was, and really the whole movement caught on to that and was like, okay, why didn't you consider that the first time since you said that since it's James Gunn's birthday? Like really, it really did seem suspicious in a sense that the Warner Brothers wants to hijack the trending event.
Yeah, that's a little bit strange. But I don't expect anything but bullshit when it comes to Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Honestly. But yeah, so man, I hope August 5th, I hope that we can get everybody to rally behind this like we did before. I really wanted to start this campaign before the Snyder Cut campaign, but I'm happy as heck we got the Snyder Cut out. I just like this movie. I just knew this movie was a lot lower budget, and I think literally everything is shot to this except for the third act. Probably has a little bit of unfinished special effects because David said that was supposed to be a ticking time world clock bomb, and that they changed the special effects. They fucked it up, and that's why it looked crazy as hell in the third act and just like a mess. So I mean that, and a couple effects on the Enchantress, and I don't know if they, obviously they wouldn't need to. It'd be awesome if they did let him re-CGI her brother back into Steppenwolf like it was supposed to be.
Yep.
Add the mother boxes back in, but even if they don't want to do that, you can put not very much money, man. Probably 10 million tops, 5 million, 10 million into finishing this movie, man. We'll have his original movie after it was tampered with the first time.
Yep. And really it's crazy how much of a difference the Ayer Cut is from the studio version, because the editor of the Ayer Cut said that the style that David Ayer was going for was Black Hawk Down, which is a war movie.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Which when I heard that, I was like, yes, that does sound a lot like David Ayer, because he really does like to go for that war style in his movies.
Yeah.
And really, like, that is a that's really the hugest difference from a night and day scenario, where the studio version was a straight up 2 hour music video. What and
Yeah.
then the Ayer Cut, it's a straight up war movie. Like, and that's really the thing that I hated when people said that this is what they wanted from James Gunn Suicide Squad. When the first trailer for James Gunn Suicide Squad came out, they said that this is what they wanted from David Ayer's Suicide Squad, which was a war movie. I was like, dude, this is really what Zach had. That's really what David Ayer had, but Warner Brothers messed it up.
Yeah. And besides just that, there was a lot of differences.
That's really what David Ayer had.
There was a lot of differences, and mainly we know that there was 40 minutes cut from the beginning of the movie. So there's 40 minutes of unseen footage, just flat out unseen. Then we've got almost every scene with Joker involving Joker, Harley Quinn, and Deadshot completely reshot and altered. Okay, so that's more new footage. That makes a whole different movie, that in itself. We know there's Batman scenes laying on the cutting room floor. We know that the third act is completely different. The tone is different. Black Hawk Down, that's a whole different movie, bro.
Yeah.
An entire different movie. I don't know, man. I don't know. I hope everybody is, excited, and I just want people to be enthusiastic about fighting for this, because Jared Leto and David Ayer deserve this more than anybody else. And also, who don't want to see more Will Smith?
Right.
I just can't believe that so many people are okay with Will Smith just being forced out of the DCEU, and that his performance was even tampered with. We don't know to what degree, but even Will Smith, he's probably got scenes on the cutting room floor. And I just think that it's stupid that James Gunn decided he didn't want to bring Will Smith back. And and he didn't want to bring the Joker back. I mean, I get it.
And
Joker doesn't need to be in a Suicide Squad movie, but even in the animated movies, there was an animated Suicide Squad movie, and the Joker was in it.
Yep.
And it was a damn good one too. Was it like Hell to Pay or something like that? Or
yeah, Suicide Squad, Hell to Pay, I believe.
Yeah. And if you look at it, it's got all the same. The only character that's not in Suicide Squad that's in Hell to Pay. That's what it really reminded me of. Like the characters, their interpretation, the way that they're drawn.
Yes.
It reminds me so much of David Ayer's Suicide Squad. I mean, the look, especially, like the feel, the look, the tone. And the only character, the only one was what's her name? Killer Frost is the only character. Other than that, literally every character in Hell to Pay is in David Ayer's Suicide Squad.
Yep.
And then another thing is that made me wonder about too is, did the studio step in early on and decide that they weren't going to pay for the special effects for Killer Croc? Or was that David's idea to go for that feel? Because there's early scripts where he was animated, like it was a guy in a green suit, and he was animated to look like an actual Killer Croc from the comics and cartoons, more crocodile-ish with a tail and shit. And there's so many questions I have, and we won't know until we see the movie. But I just hope that that we got to see Jared Leto's Joker's performance, man, because that needs corrected, because I know that guy's got a good performance. That is the last stain on the OG DCEU is critics bashing his Joker, and even now, all we can do is tell people you have not seen his true performance.
Yep, and
I want to judge it for myself, and that'll be the last time we see him as Joker, unless the Snyderverse is restored.
Right, and that's really the thing too. I actually remember in the press for the little things, Jared Leto said that he was for Jared Leto said that the Joker performance that he gave for the the Joker performance that he gave for the Ayer Cut is actually very close to what was his character in the little things. So really, like, if you watch the little things, that's really like a taste of what his Joker was supposed to be, which I
You know,
gotta say,
it makes you think too. Like, how many scenes did they like forcefully show him like laughing more than what he would have been, or like
yeah.
changed his lines into dumb shit like hunka hunka, or like it just makes you wonder like how much was changed the what we did see of him, what little we did see, and we know that it was changed. We know that like when they were in the helicopter, Dr. Fate said to tell you it's over, Jeff.
Mm.
Well, you're being really negative. It's over, man. Never lose hope, brother.
Hey, Dr. Fate, all I'll say is this. So once you lose hope, you're halfway there. Like, you're halfway there. Like, that's really the thing. Like, a lot of people said, you know what, I give up. The Snyder Cut isn't happening. Then the Snyder Cut happened. So really, I really still have hope that the Snipers can be restored. So, and really, until like we get any definitive proof that it isn't happening, I'm still going.
Dr. He said Snyderverse is over. Pedophiles run Hollywood.
Oh wow.
I'm gonna get a strike on my channel just for saying that word out loud.
Yeah.
Damn you.
So speaking of
Piss and vinegar today, man.
speaking of the strike, did you hear about the whole motion comic fiasco that happened?
What
Mm.
happened?
So I really don't know the story as well as much, but I do. But basically, there was a motion comic that Lycast was trying to do with some of the actors and some of the fans as well. But then eventually there was a lot of people, kind of a lot of copyright stuff, and that's what basically happened. That's really kind of like the short version of it. So then there was like so then Warner Brothers did a cease and desist on it, and really the motion comic for the from the original Justice League 2 storyboards got canceled.
Oh, I did. You know what? I did hear a little something about that.
Yeah, and and really I and really like all I gotta say is like really I actually did expect that to happen because it happened to this YouTuber called the Star Wars Theory, where he was doing his Darth Vader series, and Disney copyrighted his whole YouTube video because he was using their characters and stuff like that. So really, all I gotta say is like I really do have a plan B for that. Like I really do still believe that there was actually kind of promise for that motion comic. So basically, what I'm doing right now is I'm really putting my plan B into action, where I'm making a script based on those storyboards. And then once I'm done making that script based on those storyboards, I'm going to basically make a Japanese solo performance so then I don't get any copyright claims at all, because you can't really copyright a dude just performing something on his own. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I believe that even if the Snyderverse movement does get a taste of it, then that will give them more motivation to fight for the Snyderverse. So yeah.
So I just want to list a couple of changes real quick before I got to get off of here. To the Ayer Cut that we know of. We know that all the backstory for all the characters was chopped out. Killer Croc, his whole backstory was completely eradicated. Most of El Diablo's, because it was dark. We know Captain Boomerang's entire backstory was completely removed, other than that one scene with him going to jail that was like a funny throwaway one-liner.
Yeah.
That was cut out. We know the guy that was that climbed walls with the rope. What was his name? With the
that was I want to say, Slipknot. Slipknot.
He was supposed to be a rapist or something, and he, his backstory was cut out. His backstory probably wasn't really that necessary. So, but Joker and Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn falls in love with Deadshot. They hook up in the movie. The Joker throws Harley Quinn out of the chopper instead of being like, no, she doesn't fall out because of turbulence. He pushes her out because he's pissed and trying to kill her.
Yeah.
Probably because of her hooking up with Deadshot.
Yep.
Okay. Like, you boinking my girl? Probably why he came after him at the last act. He probably had a conversation with him.
Yeah.
And the final act, he teams up. Joker is there. He teams up with Enchantress. She promises him that he'll be the king of Gotham. He has a fight with the Suicide Squad, has a big conversation with each one of the members. At the end of the movie, he shows up there, and he doesn't show up to rescue her. He shows up there to kidnap her, and he's pissed. And David Ayer released a still shot in black and white, and he's like this, like doing some kind of crazy face, and he like killed someone, put on all their gear, and he was like in there yelling at her. Or something. That's just the changes that we know of. For sure, that is in the movie that we have not seen. So, but anyway, let's see. How can you say the Snyderverse is going to continue when all these solo movies are not in the Snyderverse? Well, that's because Aquaman is Snyderverse, loosely adapted. Wonder Woman 1, complete Snyderverse. Suicide Squad, Snyderverse. Man of Steel, BVS Ultimate Edition, Zack Snyder's Justice League, all Snyderverse. And the fact that we're fighting for the Ayer Cut of Suicide Squad, that comes out again. That's more Snyderverse canon, and never before seen a whole new movie of Snyderverse canon. So that's released. That's how the Snyderverse is going to keep going.
And you really
HBO or Discovery taking over Warner Brothers. Now it's AT&T and Discovery, but with a whole new company in there. You never know what will happen. When AT&T and HBO Max got involved and we did the campaign, it convinced them, you know what, this might be worth it. This project might be worth dumping the millions into it to finish it, because there is something there and there is a high fan demand for it. That's why the Snyder could happen. So
and also
how the Snyderverse can continue. They can still make their one-off movies with other directors, because Zack always intended it like that. He didn't intend it initially to be as loosely connected as they're doing, because they're doing it on purpose to be assholes. Warner Brothers is. But it was always the intention that Zack was going to handle the big shit and leave the solo projects like a Robin movie, a Green Lantern movie, a Cyborg movie for the directors that they wanted to choose to flesh them characters out. He was going to handle the brunt of their story and let them. He expects them to do their own tone, to do their own thing, just not to the degree where they're, you know, basically loosely adapting the canon to the point where it can be canon or not canon. But there's nothing, even with the new movies though, like Shazam, there's nothing in Shazam, the first one, that breaks Snyderverse canon. They just loosely adapted it to the point where it could be its own thing. There's stuff from BVS in there, so it's all Snyderverse. All it is just that you know.
And that's really the thing too. Like, not a lot of people know about this, but the director of Shazam said that he actually liked BVS, and that's why he put so many references of BVS in Shazam. So
that's another thing. And then another thing is too, you notice the pictures coming out from Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods, or what is the name for it?
Fury of the Gods.
So if you look at the stills that have been released of the new outfits, they look extremely like Man of Steel.
Yep.
They look like the same costume designers, and the suits look so much fucking better. Like, they look like they are now in Snyderverse canon. Shazam characters do. Just from the stills they've released. The new suits are amazing. So there's a good possibility that Shazam 2 is going to fall right in line with, with the canon of the Snyderverse. The first one did. It did its own thing, but it stayed within the canon. So did the first Aquaman movie to a degree. Midwest 93, what up, y'all?
Hey.
So I get what you're saying, Dr. Fate. I just don't want you to lose complete hope. Yes, you're right. There's a possibility that, like with everything, that they'll have their way and they'll be done with it. They'll wash their hands of it, or, there won't be nothing left. But, we did it once. Who says lightning can't strike twice, man?
Yeah.
I mean, you never know. I mean, the people that fought and convinced them to release that, they're still here. They're still on. They're still a part of this group. You guys are in here now. They're on Twitter. They're on all social media. They're on Vero. They're in the real world. They're buying the products. They're buying the merch. They're promoting it. You got people like me. I sit here with you guys, and you never know, man. Just don't lose hope, man. And it's not going to be the end of the world if it don't. Zack Snyder is happy with Netflix. Netflix is looking out for my guy. He's doing his thing over there. So either way, but if nothing else, and this journey ends, like you are stating that you believe that it already has. The one last thing that I think that this movement can do, if anything, is get that fucking Ayer Cut released.
Yeah.
Snyder Cut, that was a monster to get released. And the Ayer Cut, that's a whole different ballpark. That's way less money, way less work, same category, sitting on the shelf, got a director promoting it over social media, and it's part of the Snyderverse. So if nothing else, if that's the last DCEU movie, if that comes out, there won't be a single thing left, because even the critics love Zack Snyder's Justice League. If you look at the critical score, it wasn't the best on the planet, but it was pretty damn good. The best in the DCEU so far. I can't remember. Maybe like a movie like, I don't know, maybe Shazam. Maybe it was like 2 points critically higher, but it's like one of the highest rated DCEU movies. Zack Snyder's Justice League. So if they love that, there's a good damn chance they're going to like the Ayer Cut. And if they like the Ayer Cut too, that's going to be too much for people to ignore at AT&T, at Discovery, at HBO Max. There's a good chance that they could come back to them. You just never know what the future may hold. They could come back to them and say, hey, look, we thought that, maybe it was just this project, but no, you guys really had something here. And then this was torn away from you. This was amazing. And you've still got a big fan base out here. You know what? Let's give them one or two more movies. You never know what
because
the Ayer Cut. And like Midwest said, the Ayer Cut, if we can get that released, and I don't see why we can't, it's going to blow everybody's minds. When it
because really, that's really the thing, when it comes to, because when it comes to, the Zach and David Ayer, we're, if the Snyderverse doesn't happen, we're still gonna be there for David and Zach. And really, like, if you don't believe us, like, the like Hollywood Reporter actually just released the first 28 days of stuff being out, and Army of the Dead got 75 million views on Netflix, which is 3 million above the projected viewership.
Wow. I didn't
Yep,
hear about them numbers. That's fucking good. That's
yep.
amazing. So I mean,
So,
if you think about this too, think about it like this. Zach has already proved the critics and everybody wrong. Now twice. Going
yep,
on 3 times, okay? Zack Snyder's Justice League killed it. Killed it. The amount of views, the money it made, the merch it sold, the critical approval, just annihilated it in every ball game. Army of the Dead, same thing, just killed it. Okay, now he's doing a prequel. Army of Thieves. Okay,
yep,
all these projects that he's working on, new projects, Zach's going into Prime, going into Optimus Prime mode. He's hitting his prime. Zach's getting his shit together, man. Zach was a little rough around the edges when he made Man of Steel, but he's got his shit together, and if he knows what not to do anymore. He knows I'm not gonna let a studio push me around anymore. I'll fucking walk.
yep,
That was the biggest thing. Him being a team player, because someone needs to be blamed. Critics ain't gonna let no one go away without being blamed. They want someone to point the finger and say it's your fucking fault. David and Zach, they were them guys, and
yep,
they're not playing that shit no more. Because Warner Brothers, they just get right up, grab their shit, and walk out. David Ayer was a good soldier, and what? Look at now they've done taken away Gotham City Sirens from him. The Joker Harley Quinn movie. He had all these DCU projects that he was going to handle, and because he was a team player, said, "Oh, this is my cut of the movie," knowing damn well it wasn't, because Warner Brothers was telling him to say that. What Warner Brothers do? They grabbed all their shit, and walked away. It was like, "Yep, see you later, David," and just left them to get annihilated by critics.
yep,
But right now, Zach's a hot commodity. It's not just fans. Critics are liking his shit now. There's no more critics bashing his shit because of the fan base and of the meddling by corporate entities. Critics now know, mainstream critics now know the story. So now when they watch things, they have a different set of eyeballs. They're like, oh,
yep,
okay. So they're making them dumb this down, cut this out. This is where this is supposed. Oh, okay. So now they're seeing Zach's not a fucking jackass. He knows what he's doing. But
yep,
censorship is a motherfucker. But so now he's starting to win over critics. That's a big fucking deal because all of his movies have always killed it at the box office. It's just critics, they don't get it because he always takes risky projects, and critics, they wouldn't get that this is being dumbed down by the studio because of the fact that they don't want to offend people, or they think that it's supposed to be like this, or they hire them and then they disagree, or they want too much control, and it ends up messing with the overall product. Unfortunately, that's what it is, man. So things have changed, is my point, a lot. Things have changed massively. Like I said, with the Snyder Cut being released, with Restore the Snyderverse trending at like 1.5 million at one point, that was bigger than Endgame. The tweets for that when that was released.
yep.
That's the biggest social media campaign in the history of social media.
Yeah, because really, like, you gotta really think about it. Like, before the Snyder Cut was #release, the Snyder Cut was
Midwest.
really the most tweeted. It was really the most tweeted comic book movie out, and then when Zack Snyder's Justice League came out, #Restore the Snyderverse was trending 1.5 million, which then topped Avengers Endgame, which was at the time the most tweeted about comic book movie of all time. So really, like, really just think about, like, if you really think about how amazing of a and how weird of a stat that sounds, like a movie universe that was stopped and hasn't continued in a while, just overtweeted a entire just overtweeted Avengers Endgame, which made $1 billion in like a few days at most.
Right. And
Like that's really like a
that's
weird
something.
stat.
Yes, and that's something to to wow. That's to wow you. That's something to behold right there. Like, and that's not throwing no shade at Avengers in any way. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
No, in
yeah,
no
like
way at all.
that's
I'm just saying
like
that's amazing though. You know.
yeah,
Um.
like really, if you were like even if Titanic came out, like that's really still kind of like a weird stat because it's still like because it's really if you think about it like this, it's like a something that was stopped and hasn't continued in a while has been a movie that has existed very recently. Like it's still it's even if you word it like that, it's still like a weird stat to look at and just make you say like, "Wow, that really happened."
Right. And that's exactly right. And I want to answer this one last question before I gotta go.
Okay.
Midwest 93. How do y'all feel about Margot saying she's done with Harley Quinn for a while? I read that. Now I read this, and
Yeah.
basically what she said was like she's needing a break from her for a while. She played him in David Ayer in the Suicide Squad, and she played him in Birds of Prey, which I did not care for Birds of Prey at all.
I still haven't watched
I'm
it. I
sorry,
still haven't.
that's the only movie like I just no. Oh my god. Anyway, she's perfect though as Harley Quinn. Don't get me wrong. She's a badass Harley Quinn.
Yep.
We need to see how her true Ayer Cut Harley Quinn was intended to be.
Mm-hmm.
Now she's filmed Harley Quinn for
3
she's had
movies.
3 outings as her.
Yeah.
But her saying that it either the way I look at it is either Harley Quinn dies in James Gunn's Suicide Squad, or Harley Quinn something with Harley Quinn that or she doesn't like the filming. I mean, she got critically panned for Birds of Prey. Well, not critically. She got panned for her performance in Birds of Prey. Critics loved it. Fans hated it.
Yep.
Suicide Squad, her performance was completely reshot, and even if she don't want to talk about it, she knows that.
Yep, because she actually said that there's a whole lot more Harley Quinn that David Ayer filmed with her. So yeah, and David Ayer actually said that her character was supposed to be a lot more deep than the studio version that we got.
Yeah. And I mean, she's had a couple of outings, and I don't know, man. Maybe she doesn't. That's why I'm kind of curious to see. The only thing I'm looking forward to is to see. All right, James Gunn, what are you going to do with Harley Quinn in your movie? How about if you're going to kill her? Like, what is her story arc going to be? How is she going to walk, talk, and act? Is it going to be a soft reboot? How are they going to dance around the Joker issue again, like they did in Birds of Prey? Are they just going to, are they going to kill her in the movie? Like, I don't know. I'm curious to see her arc in his movie, and that's about it. I love Sylvester Stallone, but the King Shark is a fucking retard. They made him like a dumb, like he's got Down syndrome or something. I don't know why he's acting like that. Like I don't know. That's retarded.
And really, like for me, like I actually do like Idris Elba, but it's just like I still don't have the passion to go see it. Still, I'm gonna be completely honest. It, whenever I see this, because I know I'm gonna see it eventually, but the only reason why I would see this movie is really because of Idris Elba. To keep it real with you.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I want to see it for him too. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. I feel like Margot really flubbed up. Then again, I'm happy that she didn't put the Joker in Birds of Prey. On one
Yep.
hand, you could feel his presence throughout the entire movie. You could tell like this was supposed to be a script for like a Mad Love movie, and they metamorphed this and bastardized it into, and then just called it Birds of Prey. But you know that they had the script early on at Birds of Prey, and they were like, early on, and you know it was supposed to be David Ayer's movie, that was just supposed to be a story about her and the Joker with their relationship, and by the end they were supposed to be broke up, and it was supposed to be like a flashback. You know what I mean? To you know what I mean? It's supposed to be a prequel to like Suicide Squad, and they got the script, and then Margot just kept fucking with it, and the studio kept messing with it. And then they decided, as it evolved, while they were tampering with it, they decided, oh, well, we want more girl characters, more female representation. And then eventually they're like, oh, well, what do we do? Well, you know what? What was that girl group? Oh, Birds of Prey. Yeah, let's call it Birds of Prey. You know, and then we got like all these inaccurate depictions, comical depictions of Birds of Prey characters like Cassandra Cain. And that's not Cassandra Cain that got out of here.
Yeah, because
this little
and that's really
get out of here, man.
Yeah, and that's really the thing. Like, I actually remember someone who actually worked on Birds of Prey said that they actually tried to get a comic accurate depiction of her, but they had a fight with the studio, and the studio somehow won. I honestly don't know how they won, but the studio won on that.
Listen to this, man. There's a Yan cut. Nobody wants to see it though, and you know, and it's no fault of Yan's. No disrespect to her in any way. I'm sure she's a wonderful lady. You know, and her true work should have been realized. I still don't think we would have liked it, but I'm just saying that she deserves that opportunity too. She has also hashtag released the Ayer Cut and also said, like flat out on social media, flat out said that the studio cut of Birds of Prey isn't her movie on social media. And I'm just like, does it ever end? Does it ever end? When does it end? The script was tampered with by the studio. The cut was tampered with by the studio. The name was tampered with by the studio. It's like, I don't know, man. These guys are something else. Release the Yan cut. Yeah, see, all I'm saying is ain't nobody rioting for that shit, bro. Ain't nobody, my guy, rioting for that shit. You know, she does deserve, I will say, though, she does deserve to have her cut released.
Yeah, because really, like, for me, it's kind of like with you, like, really, yeah, I'm not vying for it, but if it happens, I'm definitely going to see it because I want to see what her original vision of Birds of Prey was like.
Right. Midwest, I think it will be much better than the theatrical film that we got. Of course it will. Any film where you have a director, where their job is to fucking direct, do their fucking job, it's going to come out 10 million times better than a bunch of corporate assholes like having somebody cut and rehash some shit together and copy and paste jokes into it and family-friendly bullshit and water down like certain things. Like, even if the movie is trash, the good trash version is gonna the director's cut's gonna shit on it regardless because it's how the film was intended.
Yep.
It makes what you watch make sense. You still might not agree with the overall message, the overall plot. You might not like the movie, but you'll understand this is clearly what they're going for.
Yeah, because
and you're always of course it's going to be better than what they put out.
Yeah, because I actually talked to people who said that they just thought they just thought Zack Snyder's Justice League was okay. Like, they weren't really haters. They just said that they thought his movie was okay, but they all said that even though it was okay, they said that the that that Zach's version is still better than than Justice League.
Right, exactly. But all right, guys, I gotta hop off of here. Jeffrey, we'll try and do another live stream soon. Um, I've just been real busy, man. Real busy. I needed a break. I needed a good break. That's why I want all you guys to tune in, because you never know when I'll go and when I'll be gone. And I might not
Yeah.
come back. Peace, guys.
Peace.